Good morning and welcome to TMI Socials. It's another time for you to stay up to date with the latest of trending gist on the social media space. I am Anuoluwapo Stephen, so better still call me your social media butterfly. So for a while now, our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been trending online. Well, this time around, President Tinubu departed Abuja on Monday for Paris, France, using the new Airbus A330, which replaced the 19-year-old Boeing B737-700. Now, bought under the presidency of President Olusegun Obasanjo. Well, this was made known by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, on X. Now, the purchase of a new plane by the Tinubu administration has generated controversies, with many questioning its justification at a time when the country's economy is in dire condition. Well, the Senate was also accused of not caring for the plight of Nigerian masses for approving the purchase of a new presidential jet at such a time as this. Well, now here is the gist. Well, the statement by Onanuga confirmed the purchase of the new plane, which has been in the news as a rumor. Well, according to him, the new plane, bought far below the market price, saves Nigeria huge maintenance, fuel costs, running into millions of dollars yearly. Now, this was the tweet by Onanuga posted on X yesterday. Now, how did you react to this online? Let's see. This user says, this calls for a celebration. The president deserves this. Really? Well, another reaction from Busy. This one says, Nigerian President Tinubu is flying in 150 billion naira jets, while the majority of the citizens can't even survive on basic meals. What a travesty, he says. Another reaction would be from Frank Shoibu. It says, at last, our priorities have crystallized. A new plane decked out with all of the state-of-art trimming, spacious interiors, custom designs, and cutting-edge communication systems, because naturally, in a nation grappling with hunger and economic woes, ensuring our leaders can jet off in opulent style is absolutely at the top of the urgent needs list. How comforting it must be to fly high above the trivial concerns of daily sustenance and economic hardship that plague your countrymen below. Truly, what better way to tackle national crisis than from the comfortable cushioned seats of a luxurious aircraft? Well, one more reaction from Bigger Boy, and this one responding by saying, President, they make himself comfortable, while the masses are uncomfortable. And you call this leadership? Like, what is going on here? Well, away from that, let's see another story that made it on social media. So yesterday, hashtag Ajero was trending. That's the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress. Well, he has been summoned by the Office of the Deputy Commissioner of Police Intelligence Response Team over allegations of criminal conspiracy, terrorism, financing, treasonable felony, subversion, and cybercrime. Well, the invitation, detailed in an official letter, requires Ajero to appear for an interview today, 20th August 2024, right there in Abuja. Now, that's the letter that was all over social media yesterday. Well, according to the letter, the investigation has identified Ajero as a person of interest in the case. Well, the letter further warned that failure to comply could lead to a warrant of Ajero's arrests. How has netizens been reacting to this one? Let us take a look. Now, our first reaction would be later from Jagaban, and he says there's absolutely nothing wrong with this lawful invitation. Some people scream for everything. It's becoming daily routine for people to cry over nothing. The NLC president isn't above the law. Joe Ajero should go and answer the questions that will be thrown at him and clear himself, as simple as that. Away from that, let's see another reaction from Court Destiny, and this one says, Joe deserves no pity at all. The charges that will be made up won't come as a shock. Unfortunately, he has lost the Nigerian people's support 5 good times. One more reaction real quickly from Amnesty International Nigeria, and they say, Amnesty International is deeply concerned by the Nigerian authorities' fresh attempts to further intimidate and harass Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) through threats of arrest of its president Joe Ajaero, and we urge the authorities to end this pattern of brazen impunity. Oh well, still on X yesterday, NLC on social media, on X precisely, said they don't know who's behind wanting to remove Ajaero from office and put in, somebody else is there. But let's see how things, turn out on this fresh episode of the NLC. Away from that now, also in the news yesterday, there was a story from Haija Fatima Abiola Pula, the commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Kwara State. Well, they have proposed that universities require newly admitted students to undergo mandatory drug tests. Now, as part of the admission process, the commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Kwara State, proposed that universities require newly admitted students to undergo mandatory drug tests as part of the admission process because of the rising number of drug users in the country, particularly among females, noting that it presents great danger for the home and the society. So basically what this means is in simple terms, if you want to get into school, you have to, go for a drug test. Well, they proposed, this particular one, but let's see how it's going to eventually turn out, moving forward. But how have you been reacting to this one? Vintage says, good one. It should also be expanded to those who are contesting for political offices too. I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Another user says, why stop drug users from going to school? If Nigeria wasn't this sick, would anyone have a reason to take drugs? Majority of people who smoke hard drugs or take pills do so for temporary escape from the zoo. And then he went ahead to say, this doesn't in any way justify or support the use of hard drug. One more reaction on this story would be from Aziz, and this one says, this is a welcome development because a lot of youth have engaged in drug by ruining their lives. This is a good development. Well, speaking about students and about the school and universities, ASUU was also trending yesterday as the Nigerian University Lectures under the aegis of the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, has issued a 21-day ultimatum to the federal government for a planned nationwide strike. Well, the notice is part of the resolution reached at the National Executive Council meeting of the union, which was held at the University of Ibadan at the weekend. Although the union is yet to make its position public, a senior member of the union did say in Abuja that the lecturers agreed to put the federal government on a 21-day notice before embarking on the planned industrial action. Now, before we move over to your reaction on this particular #ASUU story, let's have an old video that surfaced online during the course of the story.
What happens to the funding? 4 years course metamorphosing into 6 years? Oh, what an academic mwahaha! Academic yo-ho-ho caused by these political yo-yos, political yobos, in their leadership rococo, leadership rababaration, in conjunction with administrative bemusement, holy bully, and discombobulation.
Now, how have Nigerian youth and students in particular been taking this story? Let's take a look. This user says, it's another time of the year where students subscribe to Extra Year was already wondering whether ASUU has forgotten. Another reaction from Mickey D. He says, Wahala for who never graduate. Those way rush graduate, how he did be, Seth. That's what this one is saying. Another user says, here we go again on the microphone again. Anyway, people, 5-year course go soon enter 8 years. Well, God forbid. Can I hear someone say that? Now, this user says, what's actually wrong with these guys? Haven't they increased the school fee already? What else do they want? What else do they want? Now, finally, Exam Scholar says the educational system in Nigeria needs to be reformed. Totally with you on this one. Well, my final story for today would be a video that trended from our former dancing senator, now a dancing governor, during the Thanksgiving service of his late mother in Lagos. I'm talking about no other person than the governor of Osun State, Governor Ademola Adeleke. Now look at him. From Taiwo, this user says this man will be remembered in history as the most joyful governor this country has ever produced. Another reaction still, this guy says, I don't just understand this man. Mosque, he did. Church, he did. Like, what is your stance, governor, please? What is your stance? One more reaction would be from a Wallpaper Place, and he says, this man has a way of telling people that you are responsible for your own happiness. As we get to wrap up TMI socials on a lighter note today. Philip, what say you? What do you have to say?
Well, you said it all. Good to know. Kudos to the governor, dancing governor one time, dancing senator, dancing
right.
governor. He will be remembered for all of this, the relief he keeps bringing. I think one thing we should note is that when you dance, when you're happy, it's a medicine to the heart. So the only way you can have longevity, or one of the ways you can have longevity,
when you're happy,
is to remain happy.
Right. Happy. You know, irrespective of what is happening in the country at the moment, stay joyful always.
Exactly, and you can tell the joy you keep bringing to people using TMI socials.
Oh, really?
Kudos to you.
Thank you very
and
much.
That's what we'll call it. A wrap on to this TMI. Big thanks for being part of it. We'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.